Better not be in a hurry, better not go on a spree, better stick under a butternut tree.
1 second. Oh, come on, come on, come on. There we go. Perfect. Well, friends, Romans, countrymen, lend me your ears. I have come to bury Caesar, not to praise Caesar. Again, thus ends my thespian endeavor for this evening. I hope you enjoy it. To the words of the immortal bard, William Shakespeare. And for the quote of the day, I will simply remind everyone that yesterday was the 15th anniversary of the war in Iraq. And I bring you a quote from George W. Bush, who said, "Do they have drive-ins in Iraq?" Well, I don't know what the answer is from General Colin Powell, but that's what's recorded. And we have many other quotes if you care to hear. For a bit or whatever, you may hear a quote at any time. Simply fire one over and let me tell you, you'll have a quote. I have thousands of them. All intriguing and all very deep. You know what I mean? Anyway, that said, I have sketched out, as you can see, the orc from Lord of the Rings.
You are listening to Radio Dispute.
Actually, he's a king orc. The reason I'm doing him, if you look at the picture down below, is that he is covered in gold. And that's so. I'm going to have the time of my life doing this gold. Really. I really am. And I also have to say, without a word of a lie, he is one ugly... well, that quote you heard Arnold Schwarzenegger give to the Predator when he finally took his helmet off. You're an ugly... Anyway. I airbrushed him this afternoon. And I've noticed, if you'll notice on each side here and the other side, I don't know, I think I got carried away a little bit with my airbrush, but anyway, I'm going to be covering that over with his suit and armor, etc. So, I've covered up my drawing on that one, so what I'll do is I'll just have to sketch it in. It's not a big deal. Not a big deal. And I have completely finished the lovely, sexy orc. Oh, man. I must say, you know, she was a pleasure to do. An absolute pleasure to do. Loved every minute of it. And in that theme of The Lord of the Rings, I think I'm doing this guy next, and it is simply a labor of love. What can one say? I'm going to start with his face. and get that look. I'm going to make him look a little bit more meaner. I'm also going to put in from the reference photo, I'm going to put in some eyes as well. So it's not going to just be dark slits. I've got the eyes in. So that is the only changes, and there's a few changes in the layout I've made and whatnot, but suffice it to say, he is a gold-covered orc, and I need to make this all metal. Now, his skin is, well, is green with highlights on it. So, that said, yes, ladies and gentlemen, I am going to start off with a green. With my trusty Studio 71 Copal clones, which I've gone over the last couple of nights, which I finally discovered, and thank God, because I've been telling people about how good copals are and how good Prismacolors are, but truly, I've had people say, "Are you kidding me, man? They're $8 a pop." And I went, "Yeah, no." So anyway, I endeavored to look and look and look until I found something that would replace it. And these cost about $1 each. So maybe $2 at the most. But in saying that, that's a hell of a difference. You know, $6 a marker. I'd say that's a pretty big difference. And they have a brush tip, which I can only say, thank God they have a brush tip, because with a brush tip you can really, well, you can basically paint it. And another added bonus is yours truly, as the day gets longer, this being the spring equinox, the first day of spring, so to speak, we can celebrate. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a quote for the spring equinox. This is a freebie, so enjoy it. And this quote comes from ancient Celtic writings, and it was originally attributed to the Druids, who, as one may know, were the main religious figures in pre-Roman Britain, who gave Julius Caesar such a terribly hard time when he was trying desperately to take them out. They were a religious political force that was to be reckoned with. Anyway, Stonehenge would be a good example of where they like to congregate. And this quote comes from the historian Tacitus, who, upon reaching the spring equinox, it was reported that a druid who had been taken into custody by the Romans, which meant you're going to die very shortly, was said to have said to Tacitus, historian, prior to being executed, who said, "Do they still make good pizza in Rome?" Brave man indeed. Who showed his holiness by saying said quote, and I have to admit, he was a rather brave man to be questioning food on the eve of his death. But it takes all kinds, as they say, right? But welcome to spring. Winter is over. So, I suggest you put away your winter jackets, unless you live in Alaska, and embrace the weather we're going to now enjoy. I'm particularly enjoying it because I have, for the last almost 4 years, completely missed spring because I was living in Belize. And there it is warm all of the time. There's no spring, there's no summer, just warm all the time. It's cooler in the winter. I mean, the temperature gets down to around 75, 80. But, needless to say, I'm looking forward to the season, spring, which I haven't seen in 4 years. I'm really looking forward to it. Da, 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 da. Da, da. Da, da, da. So we'll begin shortly. As soon as I get this, get these underpainting colors, it won't be long. Sorry for the wait, but one has to. If you want it to look really, really good, you kind of have to do this. And while I was doing this, I was trying to teach my art student, well, my Sheridan College animation student, Benjamin, how to glaze with acrylic paint. I can only say that I had no idea it was that hard. I mean, it wasn't hard for me, but it was hard for him to grasp it, I gotta tell you. But, be that as it may, he got it. He got it. Well, he got most of it. Well, needless to say, he's going to need a little more practice, I gotta admit. But besides that, he should be fine. Should be fine. Doing a self-portrait, and the self-portrait's, I gotta admit, I feel sorry for him, because the poor kid is doing something that he absolutely has no clue. But it will be fine. I promised him it will be perfect, because it's an assignment, and needless to say, it will be done to perfection. To perfection, I say. Perfection.
Listener-supported service of early 1900s music preservation, a non-profit organization devoted to bringing the great forgotten music of the past to the attention of new and appreciative modern audiences. If you present and value the work that we do, please
I have a number of
to whatever degree you're able. Your contribution will not only ensure that the music continues to play for your own enjoyment, you will also be passing on
and
to discover this wonderful music for the first time as a result of our efforts. For more information, go to www.hundreds.org.
And I'll do that. We'll leave that for now because I think that will probably do just fine for the interim. Now, I'm going to, as usual, I sure hope I don't get tongue-tied tonight because it's just a pain in the butt. But anyway, that said, I'm going to put down a little bit of grain. Stronger than I normally would, which is the undercoating of the skin. So I'm just going to go through here first. And this is a very light coat, really is. Oh, by the way, the other benefit of spring is the daylight lasts a lot longer. I mean, I thank God for that, because really, while I love working with OttLights, I gotta tell you that the brightness really and truly wreaks havoc on one's eyes. Now this is going to be multi-layer, and when I mean multi-layer, I mean multi-layer. There's going to be a lot of layers of color on this one, and a lot of layers of Prismacolor. And the reason for that is I want a really lifelike look to this orc. I want him literally to walk off the page, so to speak. I want him to be so real that I have nightmares. And I mean that. Nightmares, Mike. Nightmares. And after yesterday's call from the Association of for the Preservation of Orc Culture and all things orc, where I was pilloried, I can only say pilloried, for not providing a larger chest on the orc that I did. And I apologize profusely, I must say, and promise that it would never happen again. The next orc I do, it will be in the proper proportions. I swore to them not to worry, I'm on it, it'll never happen again. And they accepted my apology, and as of now, it looks like things should be okay. But by the same token, one never knows if you're dealing with an orc. Especially the orc organizations. And who knew that the orcs had a lobby group? I mean, come on. That's weird. But in this era of politics that we're in, nothing seems to be out of the ordinary anymore, so I can only say that I was amazed and dumbfounded. But I must say, that said, you are going to see an orc like no other. And I do have it all planned out. Which, artistically speaking, is exactly what one needs to do. Plan it out. Plan it out completely. That way you don't get any surprises. Make notes in your sketches. Make notes everywhere. Figure out exactly what it is you want to do and what you want to portray. And then get your sketch ready and away you go. And that means that anytime you go to any section of your drawing, you'll know in advance whether or not there's a problem, or what the problem was you've already fixed or done something to change the configuration or whatever. Which is really what I do. The only thing I leave kind of up in the air when I'm doing a piece is I don't overplan my colors. I mean, I have a plan for the colors, but I think I explained last night the procedure that I follow, which is to, well, I guess you can see it around the drawing, all the colors out. So I guess there's about, I don't know, 200 pencils on the desk here, my drawing table. And the reason I do that is because I don't want to second guess myself when it comes to color, because when I'm looking down at the color, sometimes I see a color and go, oh, no, wait a minute, that would work even better. And 9 times out of 10, I'm right. So my planned color... Now, if you're versatile in color, by the way, that works very well. If you're not really versatile in color, don't do it. I'll tell you that right now. It'll just mess you up. But if you're versatile in color, by all means, do it. Because you'll find that you discover more choice. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, dun. Dun, 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 dun. Now you see how rich that looks with the underpainting on it? That's what you're looking for. That's only really... I just did the green very lightly, so that's just one coat. And there's the green, the violet lilac on top of the green. But look at the lilac on top of the red underpainting. Wow. Or the purple underpainting. Wow, wow, wow. As Borat would say, wow, 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 wow. That's enough. Now this kind of morphs here into like a purpley skin color. Actually, it's what was done is they've used purple as a shade for green, which is really the way you do it. So when I was looking at the colors, I quickly figured out exactly what was done. And there we go. We got a little... Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop in some darker purples, whereby we will some of these and you know, the reason I've said this before, but the reason I put the underpainting down is so I can get this look. If you don't do it, you even have to, like, what it does is it gives you about 2 to 3 layers to start off with if you put an underpainting color down on it, which really is great because that's what you want. You don't have to lay more Prisma down. All you have to do is you simply have to Oh, God, that's nice and creamy color. Only Prismacolor gives you. Beautiful. Da, 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 da. So as it gets closer to the helmet, it's going to be darker. So I'm just putting this down in order to get to that darker color. In fact, it's in shadow. You can see already like the glow of the color, and I've hardly got anything down yet. I don't know what it is. It's just that excitement or something. I don't know. It's just like you start a new piece, it's like I don't know. I apologize to all those who said to me, Jesus, please stop humming. My apologies. See, I can't get away with like Bob Ross used to do. Happy little trees and happy little flowers. And no, I don't have that. So I just hum. And unfortunately, I hum off key and out of tune, and I know that. See, he could go, happy little trees, happy little flowers. Met Bob Ross at the, I think it was called the NAMA, National Art and Media Show. Oh, I forget the acronym now, but anyway, it was in Toronto about 1995 or so. No, maybe earlier than that. Anyway, I was down there, and who was there? Bob! Hawking his new line of oil paints and whatnot. And why was I there? Well, I was there because I kind of did contract work for Stedler and Grumbacher and stuff like that, so I was there for the day, and I walked over and introduced myself, and he was a nice guy. I mean, I liked him right away. He spent most of his years in Alaska, you know. That's How could Red Riding Hood have been so very good and still keep the wolf from the door? Father and mother. I talked to him for a while, and he was chafing a little bit at the time, I remember. And one of the reasons was that there was a guy on TV named, I think his first name was Jason Alexander, who basically was Bob Ross before Bob Ross. And I think he was Austrian or German. And he had those markets kind of lined up. And there was a bit of a, hey, that's my technique. What are you doing? And Bob was trying to sort of separate himself from from that kind of scrutiny, I guess. I don't know, but anyway, that was the problem. That was kind of what he was on his mind. So talked about it, but I basically said to him, like, who gives a damn? Really? People like the way he paints will watch him, and people like the way you paint will watch you. But the problem was that they both painted the same way. The big brush. The only thing they didn't use was a roller. Anyway, there were some problems at that time, but Alexander was getting a bit long on the tooth in those days. So he was, but he was the guy. But if I recall correctly, what in the discussion, I had said to Bob that, well, hold on a minute, man. Prior to Alexander, there was a guy named Nagy. I think his name was Bob Nagy. He was on TV from the 50s. And although he didn't have all exactly the same techniques, he did the same shtick, right? And I said, why are you worried about this? I mean, he's just doing what Nagy did. And I don't know, for some reason Bob didn't know about Nagy. I don't know why. He should have. He was the right age. And Nagy did a lot of black and white stuff. Mainly because nobody had a color TV. That's why Nagy did black and white. So, believe me, if everybody had a color TV, he'd been doing the same thing as Bob and Alexander. So I kind of said to him, like, well, why do you care? Like, it really wasn't a legal problem. He just didn't like the fact that somebody had been. Because that wasn't his shtick. His shtick was laid back, enjoy the painting, which is kind of what he was. I mean, he wasn't. He really was not an uptight type of guy in any way, shape, or form. It was like how you saw him. At least he was around me. I didn't see him. Like, there was no headlines in the next day's paper of Bob Ross, mild-mannered artist from the Bob Ross the Joy of Painting, attacks 50 cops with a beer glass or anything. None of that stuff. So, none of that stuff went down. So, as far as I was concerned, that's the way he was. And I never heard anything different. But then he got sick. And the other guy who was there was a guy named who was Jerry Yarnell. Jerry Yarnell. Now Jerry. Oh no! There we go. One of these warped pencils back to normal. Jerry, he was a nice guy. He was doing the same as me in the Midwest with Grumbacher. They'd hired him, only they had a bigger budget, and they'd send him down to Louisiana. He'd do a painting down there for the local PBS station, stuff like that. Never had a budget like that in Canada, I'll tell you. But again, it was an American company, so I wasn't really expecting to have a budget like that. But anyway, thing about Jerry is that every minute like you talk to him about his painting. He was doing water-based oil, same as I was, Grumbacher's, and we were kind of like comparing notes. You know, like, have you tried this? And you notice this? And you know, yeah. And, so we quickly established we knew what we were doing, so we could talk art, right? Which was good. That's what we wanted. But what the trouble I had was that slowly but surely, and don't take offense if I say this, if you feel this way, but he brought Jesus into everything. Everything. And I'd say to him, okay, and the Lord this, the Lord that, the Lord this, and the Lord that. Jesus Christ, let's just stick about painting, you know, like, and he really was an acrylic painter. That was his forte. He didn't like I did. Only I was an oil painter. He was an acrylic painter. He learned how to use the water-based oil, so he made the transition. And he had a PBS station in Oklahoma. He was on a PBS station in Oklahoma. He had that Oklahoma accent, you know. And like, nice guy, really nice guy. But Lord, every second thing he attributed Jesus. I think they called him born agains or something. I don't know. But wherever he was, it was Jesus is. And then sometime later, I was talking to the Grumbacher person, my point person, who basically did the hiring for him when they wanted me to do something. And apparently he got sick. He got some sort of cancer. And he immediately started beseeching the members, like anybody watching his show, his PBS show, to pray for him. Well, he recovered. Recovered very well. He made it. You know? Wherever the cancer was, it was beatable, and he beat it. But then I heard that, I didn't know for sure because you couldn't get this is before YouTube, you know, you couldn't get the feed up here. But then I heard that every minute of every show was thanking everybody for their prayers, and that's what cured him. I went, wow, okay, I'm not going to argue. Anyway, that was Jerry Yarnell. He's still around, I think, as far as I know. If you look on YouTube, you can see what I'm talking about. Good old Jer. Bob didn't like him very much. I don't know why. But in fairness, he was a very good artist. I mean, he wasn't a big brush, use a roller type of guy. He was more, no, you do it this way and you use this, you know, like, it was like a real art lesson. It wasn't, painting had to be done in like 20 minutes or something. He actually would carry a painting on from one episode to the next until it was finished. And and that's kind of like I was too. So although Bob and I never ever thought of doing art like Bob. He had little tricks too, Bob. That you know, like the brushes he was using, they were specially made. They had really high quality bristles, and it wasn't all go to the dollar store and buy a brush and start painting. You know, it wasn't all that. So anyway, people made people happy. Who cares? Not me. But you know, there's art for everybody. In fact, he's on Twitch here. I mean, I think his reruns or his old shows are up there. I think. I don't really know. I think I saw him.
Maybe I'm right, and maybe I'm wrong, and maybe I'm weak, and maybe
I'm wrong.
But nevertheless, I'm in love with you. Maybe I'll win, and maybe I'll lose, and maybe I'm in for crying the blues. But nevertheless, I'm in love with you. Somehow I know the terrible maybe I'll give much more than I'll get, but nevertheless I'm in love with you. Maybe I'm right, and maybe I'm wrong, and maybe I'm weak, but
maybe I'm strong,
but nevertheless
I'm in love with you.
But
nevertheless, love with you.
Somehow,
the terrible chance I'm taking.
Why not to start, then left with a heart that is
breaking?
Maybe a life of regret, and maybe much more than I get. But nevertheless, I'm in love with
you. Yeah, I wish I put more orange down instantly. Should have known better. Should have put more. I know it might be a silly question, but has anybody figured out the difference between this kind of music and the music how it evolved in the late 40s? I'm not talking about using different instruments. I'm talking about the evolution of music. And I don't mean songs either. Are you intrigued as to what the hell I'm talking about? Well, I shall explain. If you'll notice in a lot of these songs that you're hearing, is that the musicians will come on first and they will play. If it's let's say a 3-minute song, well, they'll play the first minute without any vocals at all. So what was going on was, it was the orchestra musicians who kind of held sway, and this happened right up into the 40s. For instance, Frank Sinatra, I can't remember the band. I think it was Tommy Dorsey, if I'm not mistaken, but he was the singer for the music, but not to be confused with the star. The star was Tommy Dorsey and his orchestra. And what would happen would be, people didn't kind of identify the music with singers as yet, like the big singers. There were a few, like Jolson and Bing Crosby and guys like that. But it was the orchestras that were the big deal. And then what happened is because especially when TV first started, it was the guy out in front, the singer, who got all the notoriety. And even today, you think of a band, you think of the lead singer. You think of U2, well, you think of Bono, right? Just before anyway, just a side bit about Bono. At one point during the Obama administration, I was thinking about getting a t-shirt made that said, when Bono was on his world tour to solve all the problems in the world, because he was Irish and because he could sing in a band. Well, I was actually thinking of getting a t-shirt made saying, what would Bono do? Yeah. Deference to his ability to solve all the world's problems. And just then he sort of backed off. And so I went, well, geez, that idea won't fly because he's not doing that anymore. But for a long time I would say, what would Bono do? Surely he'd know. Starvation, crisis, anything Bono would think of something to do. Oh, there it is. Pardon me, I just want to put his eyes in a little bit. Transfer didn't seem to take very well there, I don't know why. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Jesus, every time I put a pencil in my hand, I start this. I don't like using the pencil after I start something. Because I do that. Just, I think it's from years of doing graphite, you just sort of, I don't know. dirty, makes the Prismacolor look dirty. Not something I do is make dirty Prismacolor. Hell no. Da, da, da. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Da, da, da. Great. Okay. Ah, 2H pencil. I knew it. Okay. I should have known it. My fault. It's alright. It's alright. Not to worry. Don't panic. Don't panic. No. Oh, Prismacolor. Jesus. I want these eyes just fork blazing, you know? Because, you know, if you're a self-respecting orc, you have nice eyes, right? Decent. Or at least eyes that look fierce, you know? I think so. Da da. Da da da. Da da. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Dun 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 dun. Da 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 da. And just as I thought I was going to have a lovely, relaxing day tomorrow, I get reminded that there's something I have to do tomorrow. Believe it or not, and oh man. Oh man. Anyway. Well. Thus ending my day of my peaceful day.
Preview of one of the featured Fred Astaire musical numbers of next week's show, Organ Grinder Swing. We sincerely hope you've enjoyed tonight's program. Of course, it was a little different from our usual Tuesday evening shows, but that's because on this important night, we wanted you to hear the latest election returns. So we cooperated with NBC in allowing these frequent and important interruptions. We cordially invite you to be with us again next week for another in our regular series of Packard Hours, for new songs and dances by Fred Astaire, more comedy by Charlie Butterworth, more of Johnny Green's arrangements in the modern manner, an hour of pleasant entertainment gathered for your pleasure by Packard. In the meantime, ask the man who owns one.
Packard. Packard was a type of car. All those brands went eventually under General Motors. Oldsmobile, Buick, they all ended up as General Motors. That's what they ended up as.
Do you mind confiding where you have been hiding? I've been seeking you forever. Now that I have found you, I will hang around you. If you lose me, you'll be clever. Seems to me you seem to be someone I've been looking for. Seems to me it's ABC. You're the someone I adore. What a thrill, oh what a thrill, my discovering you. What a break, am I awake? I can't believe that it's true. Hear my heart humming a tune I never knew my heart could sing. And I know it's you who's making it do that thing. Thanks above, I'm really in love. I think my worries are through. Seems to me, but how does it seem to you? Seems to me you seem to be someone I've been looking for. Seems to me it's ABC. You're the someone I adore. What a thrill, oh, what a thrill, my discovering you. What a break, am I awake? I can't believe that it's true. Hear my heart humming a tune I never knew my heart could sing. I know it's you who's making it do that thing. Love, I think my worries are through. It seems to me, but how does it seem to you?
Hi, hi, hi.
Hi, hi, hi.
Holy, holy, ho.
Hoity, ho. Say, Blanche, what is wrong?
Nothing, boy. It's just a crazy song.
Oh!
Ain't this crazy song? Boys can't go wrong. Now ain't going to the crazy words of this crazy hymn.
Do, 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 do. Dun, 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 dun.
Daddy, I could be your slave if you'd only give me just what I crave. I want some, you know what I mean. So come on, let's misbehave. Now if you want to see me through, baby, here's what you must do. Hi, are you
Da,
right?
da, 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 da,
Good and strong. You gonna make
da, da.
oh, you know how. Oh, give in now.
Dun,
Can't
dun,
go
dun.
wrong. Now I get the hot
Dun, dun.
you start fooling round. Okay, see the fix
Trying to think.
gotta turn my damper down. Yes, indeed.
Who's too good?
That boy's from the beanery. Oh, oh, oh. Just crazy song.
Well, you heard about it here? Oh, here first, folks. Artist loses hearing.
Music everywhere, feet are patting, putting tempo in old Manhattan. Everybody is out hi-hatting, spreading rhythm around. Everywhere you go, trumpets
And
blast.
pencil sharpening accident. Oh, man.
Everybody you meet is wearing, spreading rhythm around. Up in Harlem, in any place, they give you that thing, which according to one and all is what they gon'
Oh, Jesus.
come from Yonkers to Broad.
I'm not having any
Spreading
at all. Anyway, he doesn't, man. I want the. What a guy will do for a sharp pencil. I know, it's just. What he'll do for a sharp pencil, I don't know. Oh, you just saw.
Up in Harlem, in any place, they give that thing, which according to one.
Da 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 da. Now, I'll get these highlighted more later, but that's kind of what I wanted so far. And now I'm going to go in and go in with a heavier color. There we go. There's more than one way to skin a cat. Yeah. Yeah, that's a ticket.
You are listening to Radio Dismuke.
RadioDismuke.com. HappyMusicRadio.com.
HappyMusicRadio.com. So I phoned those guys one time and say, "You think you could spend $1.99 and get somebody a better lead in?" Yeah, HappyMusicRadio.com. I mean, God, how much can it be? Somebody do a nice lead in. You're listening to Radio Dismuke, the only place on the internet that brings the movie music from the 20s to your door. Come on. Easy peasy. What's the problem? No? Been like that for, well, since I started listening about 8 years ago, I guess. I mean, there's guys out there, who do lead-ins for radio stations and stuff. I mean, it's not as if it's hard to get. It's not even that expensive. Well, maybe I should phone them and say, I was going to send you $1 million, but I hate your lead-in so bad that I decided to send it to somebody else. Boy, that'd be mean, eh?
The king and queen of every nation were glad to get an invitation. The prince away.
Put this where I can find it, because you know what happens? Anytime I want a cool gray, and 5 minutes looking for the damn thing. No more. Put it where I know it is, where I can get it. Mm-hmm.
He would be there to see that everything turned out okay. For many the moocher's wedding day. Many the moocher's wedding day. Oh, better come down to town. Let me take you down just to see the cokie kick the gong around. Cokie singing howdy, 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 hey. King of Spain is gonna give the bride right away.
How do I know that YouTube's algorithm is stunned? I'll tell you how I know. One of the songs they said that I had unauthorizedly this 100-year-old music that I had no authorization to play, as it was under copyright, which it's not, by the way. 100-year-old music is not under copyright in any man's army. Anyway, that song you just heard, Minnie the Moocher, that was kind of like Cab Calloway's big hit song. And he didn't write it, he just sang it. They put down in the thing copyright violation, Cab Calloway's Minnie the Moocher. He didn't write the song. How can he have? And I don't even think he performed it last. I think it was the same woman who just sang it. Anyway, it kills me. You're really embarrassed one of these days when I go and dispute all the copyright complaints, like maybe 6 months from now, and say, no, I dispute this. And by then there'll be hundreds and hundreds of songs, all from Radio Dispute. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, dun, dun.
The privilege of being your guest is requested by the Meadows Manufacturing Company of Bloomington, Illinois, who asked to...
You know, there's a famous John Wayne picture, movie. It did real well back in the day. It was called McClintock. And the rights for the song and the copyrights came up around 10 years ago. And somebody was asleep at the switch, and it accidentally went into the public domain. And once it's in the public domain, you can't get it out. And I didn't know what was going on at first, because I'd go into, like, you know, a variety store or whatever to get something, and at the counter there'd be a copy on, like, a CD of McClintock. I went, McClintock? I mean, it was an old movie then. Like, I mean, it was a good movie. I don't mean to say it wasn't a good movie, but it wasn't. I mean, it was done in, like, I don't know, the early 60s or something? Like, a long, long time ago. And, so I looked it up, and yeah, it had slipped into the pub. Somebody was asleep at the switch. They tried everything to get it. No, John Wayne didn't own it. No, he was, mind you, he was dead, but he didn't own it. The studio owned it, but somebody was, copyright had come up, so it has to be like would have been maybe it was later than that. So maybe it was 85 or something. Like it was 25 years or 30 years later, and then you got to renew copyright, and then even then you can only renew it in those days for a certain period of time. The only time they made an exception to that rule and added a few years on it was when Disney's Mickey Mouse came up to be his copyright was running out, and the Chinese had Mickey Mouse lunch boxes and Mickey Mouse this and oh my God, it was going to be like a flood of everything of Mickey Mouse, and they went and got congressional discompensation to extend the copyright, because Walt Disney was the creator, and he'd been dead like since 1970 or something. So yeah, 35 years after his death, it came up. So they added a few years. So I think they gave him another 20 years or something. It's fine by me because Mickey Mouse is like an icon, right? You can't mess with the trademark or icon, and I understand that. You've got a whole gigantic business built around one thing, Mickey Mouse, which was Disney World and all that stuff. I mean, I don't think anybody really planned. Some little song sang in the 1920s. God. Not to mention, the rappers ripped off more people's songs than Flanders Has Penis. A few of them started getting sued, Groups that performed them in the 60s stopped it. Put it right in their raps, and I'm like, see why they were mad. The least they could have done is wait till those guys were dead, Oh, you kidding me? I think they just assumed that none of those guys were listening to rap. Well, they weren't, but somebody else was. Somebody else's said, hey, guess what? Somebody's using your song. Who? Rappers. Well, guess what? You have to give me some of your profits. Can't blame them.
Now she might be. I've got those old goodbye blues.
Couldn't take my humming, away they went.
Radio Dismuke is a listener-supported service of a nonprofit organization devoted to bringing the great forgotten music of the past to the modern audiences. If you enjoy the music we present and value the work that we do, please consider giving us your support to whatever degree you're able. Your contribution will not only ensure that the music continues to play for your own enjoyment, you will also be passing on a priceless gift to all those who will discover this wonderful music for the first time as a result of our efforts. For more information, go to www.early1900s.org. That's early1900s.org.
Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 Alrighty, let's get some color into this guy. I want color. By God, if I'm drawing it, it's going to be color. I mean, what's a self-respecting orc supposed to do? I mean, can't just spend their whole life, you know, walking around. So I was looking for resource material for this stuff, you know, this guy. I was looking through I was looking everywhere, you know, I look everywhere, so. I was looking through Google and all this stuff. So just for fun, I went and looked. Google. Oh, whatever. I don't remember what it was. Anyway, so I looked, and there must have been a convention or something. I don't know. A Lord of the Rings convention? Because these girls were there, and they were dressed up like orcs. And I'm telling you, it did not look good. It did not. I mean, I don't know who told them to dress up like orcs, but whoever did wasn't their friend. I'll tell you that. Man, oh man, oh man, oh man. I mean, really. It was brutal. So I was going like, wow, who told you to do that? I mean, Walking Dead. Whoa. I understand the zombie walk and all that stuff. Get that. But these girls, wow, Jesus, Murphy. Oh, I'm telling you, mate, it was bloody awful. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Just for fun today, I was looking at the most popular games and stuff that's on Twitch, and they haven't listed there, what's popular, what's not. Okay. And they had so I went in, just kind of looked at the game, a couple of people playing the game. Graphics really sucked. I got what's going on? Why are they making games where the graphics are? I don't know. Doesn't make any sense to me. Must be missing something. So that's what I kind of said. I must be missing something. I don't get it. But brand new, popular games. One game's even out just in beta, apparently. And, why? Not like they don't know how to do it. The only thing I can think of is that it costs so much. They're starting to cost so much to get good artists or good designers or good concept artists that they are going with second string. So they're putting their money into the game in terms of they're getting their money into the game in terms of fun to play and all that stuff. But what they're doing is they're saving money on the graphics, which does cost a lot of money. I realize that, but still, when's that going to end? When it goes back to the way Nintendo was 30 years ago? What? I just don't get it. And there's no hue and cry from the gamers. I'm missing something. I don't know what I'm missing. If somebody can explain it to me, please do. Just whisper over the explanation. I really would. I'm interested in hearing it because, if you just want cartoon stuff, it's really easy to do. A lot easier than this kind of stuff. Well, I don't know what it is. It's just strange. Seems strange to me, but why? There's that new game that's out. The girl has a bow and arrow, and it looks really good, but the graphics are good. So, just out for PS4, I saw. I thought, wow, that's a neat game. I liked it. Look of it. But the graphics are good. Then you see this other stuff. What gives? I don't get it. Can somebody please explain it to me? You don't have to jump off the page or anything. I'm not going to have a long conversation, but does anybody know what's going on? Like, why are we going backwards in graphics? It just seems so odd to me. I don't know. Just strange.
Here's how to make things okay. Just whistle and blow your blues away. You'll swing along through the day.
What gives? Get it.
Whistle and blow your blues away.
I asked my trusty Sheridan College student, who loves to play games, I said, what's with that? I asked him this afternoon. He said he didn't know. Jesus, he's a gamer. If he doesn't know, who knows? Who knows? I sure as hell don't. Makes no sense to me at all. None. But then again, destined. My fate. What's your fate? Well, you're never gonna know. Oh, that makes sense. Oh, why didn't I think of that? Never gonna know. Ever. Never ever. You know, I can almost see when he asked me a question today, where I was sketching this out, because it was kind of like left, you know, like sketch stopped, then it picked up somewhere else. I'm going, and I didn't notice at the time. So they said I was showing him how to glaze, and I was sketching this out at the same time. So I'm going, Jesus, okay, now I get it. Funny. Oh, there's a hole in your sketch. Oh yeah, right. Gotta ask the question. Oh well. I'll catch it later. And I did. I am. Dun, 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 dun. Right, just there. And here I completely didn't even draw it in. Oh my God. God. And unfortunately, I can't say to him, poor kid, you know, like, don't bug me, can't you see I'm sketching? You have to be kidding me.
When you're feeling sad and blue, but your sweetie's left you too, this is what you've got to do. Just go and get your dancing shoes and dance away through night and day.
That is the weirdest sharpener I think I've ever seen. Oh well. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, dun. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, dun,
Radio Dismuke is now on Facebook. Find us at facebook.com/Radio Dismuke.
Streaming the sounds of the 1920s and 1930s around the world 24 hours a day. This is Radio Dismuke. RadioDismuke.com. HappyMusicRadio.com.
Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da.
Or in a mud hut, if you're really and truly in love. On a warm night, on a cold night, or on a wet night, if you're really and truly in love. Believe me, any old time, any old where, love don't care at all. Any old place, any old face, or any old garden wall. You can make love on a haystack, on a switchback, or on a tin tack, if you're really and truly in love. Believe me, any old where, love don't care at all. Any old place, any old thing, or any old garden wall. You can make love in a small house, in a big house, or in the workhouse, if you're really and truly in love.
Moon for sale, no ring. Moon for sale, someone is to see. I was told the moon would aid romance, so on I took a chance. It ended too soon, and now there's a moon for sale. As I held her close, it seemed to say, a girl, a ring, a wedding day. It ended too soon, and now there's a moon for sale. Now that lovely moon is for sale. When the storm clouds gathered and hid the moon from view, something seemed to tell you Mr. Moon was laughing
With you.
once more. She'd gone off. No wedding day. It ended too soon, and now there's a moon for sale. In the magic mystery of moonlight, one lovely June night, a dream came true. Till I heard a voice that kept repeating such joyous pleading. Starry nights and memories come thronging with all of love supreme. There is just a simple explanation, the fascination of love's young dream. When the storm clouds gathered and hid the moon from view, something seemed to tell me Mr. Moon was laughing. When it shone once more, she'd gone away. No girl, no ring, no wedding day. It ended too soon. And now there's a moon.
Honey, oh honey, when we should be made. Gee, I'm willing, but nothing that you do seems thrilling.
I don't get it.
And where am I getting?
For a minute there I thought it was a pencil sharpener.
Way up high.
Apparently not.
Here am I, oh, do something. Ain't been
Apparently not.
been kissed, one
No, you mean one thing.
what I've missed.
Damn pencils.
Oh, do something. Got the time and the place and the place and the time I know. Got a bench and a park and a park and a bench and go.
Da, da, da.
Other pairs making haste. Well, look at me going to waste. Oh, do something. Summer night, stars galore. What are we waiting for? We're all do ba 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 ba.
Do,
It's been cold
da,
and
da, da.
rain, nothing tried and nothing gained. Oh, do something to me. Got a
Da,
hug
da,
and a
da,
kiss and a
da,
kiss and a hug or two. Gonna give some away, some away to you. Sitting round seems so dumb. Oh, hurry, dear, come. Oh, do something.
Da, da. Da, da, da. Da, da. Do, 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 do. Okay, fellas, where's my pale green? Where'd you go? I'm looking for my pale green now, boys. Don't be hiding on me. Pale, pale green. Ah, there you go. Ours you be. There. Roll off the table, Mabel. $2 is right there. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, dun, do, 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 do.
After you've gone, left me crying. After you've gone, there's no denying. You'll feel blue, you'll feel sad. You'll miss the dearest pal you ever had. There'll come a time, now don't forget it. There'll come a time when you'll regret it. Someday, when you grow lonely, your heart will break like mine and you'll want me only. After you've gone away. Da, da, da. Da, 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 da.
Once in a great while, the low level of used car prices and the high level of used car quality combine to create an unequal...
Oh, I'm getting that urge to buy a Chevy again.
Now at your Chevrolet dealers. The record-breaking buying wave of new Chevrolets has brought the finest selection of trade-ins you have ever seen. All
It is.
late models, low mileage. As these
Late models, low models, high models.
perform like new. Backed by the famous guaranteed OK tag and priced for a clean sweep sale, they'll go fast. So hurry. Your present car will probably meet the full down payment, and you pay the small balance while you drive a safe, smart-looking, economical car.
Just a small down payment. Just a little one.
There's lots of things that I don't like, sweetheart, it's true.
We won't ask for much. Just take one of our cars, please.
Smile from you. I love you from the very start. Yes, I do anything for you, sweetheart. Though I don't like turnips, I can't stand turnips, and I hate turnips, it's true. But if you say turnips,
Do.
sing for you. Though I don't like dancing, I can't
Da, 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 da.
But if you say go
Da,
dance,
da,
I
da.
even toe dance, so I do anything for you. Sweetheart, can't you see what you mean to me? Now I don't like Niagara. Oh, I can't stand that place. I hate Niagara. It's true. But if you
Do, do, do.
anything for you, though I don't
Da,
like
da,
bananas,
da, da, da.
I hate bananas, it's true. But if you sing tenor, then I'll sing bananas. Oh, I do anything for you.
Ooh.
With cheese,
Da, da, da,
the holes make me nervous.
da,
That's
da,
true.
da,
Like the banjo, then I'll play the Swiss cheese. Oh, I'll do anything for you.
do.
Heart, can't you see what you mean to little me? Though I don't like weddings, so I can't stand weddings, and I hate weddings, it's true. But if you say a wedding, then we'll get married. Oh, I do anything for you.
Do, do, do.
Sweetheart, can't you see what you mean to little me?
Da, 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 da,
And I hate poo-poo, it's true. But if you
da,
say
da, 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 da,
anything
da, da. No, not orange enough. Gone. Gone with you. That's for me, interest. I don't know. There we go. Da, 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 da. Do, 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 do. Do, do. Do, 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 do. Do, do. Do, 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 do.
Mariana wanna love you. I'll repeat it every day, dear. Mariana wanna love you. It's a simple thing to say, dear. Were there more praises to sing and praises to ring, I'd sing them to you. And though you may never love me, I will never cease to though you're flying high above, I will try to fly up to you. I know the worry and strife that comes with a wife, but here's a would gladly give up his life to marry you, Marianne.
You. Well, Mike, you can say what you want, but that's not peacock green, no. Oh, I know my greens, and that is not a peacock green. Light touch here. Down.
Without a car, picture heaven's firmament. Without a star, picture Christy Chrysler. Picture poor Philadelphia without a Beatle. Picture Central without a sailor. Picture Lord mine is to
Oh, there's another spot. Hey, Ben.
And what have you got? Just a picture of me without you.
You could almost map out when he was talking to me.
Picture Paul Revere without a horse. Picture love in Hollywood.
Jesus.
Picture Barbara Hutton without a nickel. Picture poor Mr. Heinz, my dear, without a pickle. Picture good cigars without Havana. Picture Huey Longless, Louisiana.
Dedicated to art.
And what have you got? Just a picture.
And as an older artist, I gotta admit it. I never give him a hard time about his art, though. I did say, however, if you paint any slower, you'll never learn how to do acrylics because they're drying as we speak. Which was the truth. Not the truth. Works so tentatively. So afraid to make a mistake. God damn kid. Gotta make mistakes or you won't learn. I already told him. Any mistake you make, I can correct. Anything. Yeah.
You are listening to Radio Dismuke.
RadioDismuke.com. HappyMusicRadio.com.
Might be wondering why I glazed all these colors underneath. Why I'm going over it with dark, and the reason is because dark now throws the light up through the layers, and it's just not dark now. It's colorful dark. Does that make sense? Hope so. So the question is, why did I do it? Odd to say the least. But easily corrected.
Fellas, if you're on, I will spin a yarn that was told to me by Abel Seaman Jones. So he took a cruise far away from nightclubs and from saxophones. He said, yo-ho, I made a certain port. And when you talk about real He-Man sport, hot ginger and dynamite, there's nothing but that at night. Back in Nagasaki,
When I was transferring this afternoon, damn pencil I was using kept breaking. So the kid says to me, "You're pressing too hard." So I said to him, "How would you like to get airbrushed?" He was sorry. Because I've airbrushed them before. Said, hold that down. Thanks. Oh man. Thank God it's acrylic paint, right?
With a bowl of rice beneath a parasol. Every gentleman
I swear.
to use a fan, and they only wear suspenders in the fall. That's where the
I often wondered, did
it's the grandest place that ever was.
guys who had students over the years do the same stuff? I bet you they did.
The horse is Japanese. Back in Nagasaki where the fellas chew tobacco and the women wicky wacky woo. They sit you upon the floor. No wonder your pants get sore. Back in Nagasaki where the fellas chew tobacco and the women wicky wacky woo.
Mind you, they didn't have airbrushes back then, so they would have had to do something else.
I got rheumatics and then sciatics and halitosis, that's guaranteed. You just have to act your age or wind up inside a cage. Back in Nagasaki where the fellas chew tobacco and the women wicky wacky woo. With an ice cream cone and a bottle of tea, you can rest all day by the hickory tree. But when night comes round, oh gosh, oh gee, mother, Pina rolls on me. Those pretty mamas in pink pajamas, they try to slip you a kiss. Those tired teasers in BVDs, heaven help a sailor on a night like this. They're not too gentle and not too rough, but you've got to tell them when you had enough. Back in Nagasaki where the fellas chew tobacco and the women wicky wacky woo.
Oh man, we're gonna do some massive color adjusting here. Yep, massive. I brought it up high key and now I want to drop it back a bit. More drama. But to get more drama, what you do is you bring your drawing up to you make the light directional. Yeah. You know. So what happens is it gives the entire piece more of a three-dimensional look. Have you? Even up here. This is why you've got more than one color down, right? Because when you do this, color still will through on the peak. Still, no matter what, it will. I'm using nectar. Anyway, not a flesh tone. Close. Because you have to do a little bit. Otherwise, you don't recognize it as anything that is remotely human. And I have to. It's the rules. Because when people look at it, you got to be able to say, if a human being was an orc, that's what he'd look like. So you got to do it. I'm a little rusty on my orc lore. Weren't they supposed to have been humans once or something? And they were seconded by the Dark Lord or something. Can't remember. Because I haven't read Lord of the Rings and Jesus since I was in university. And people started going, "Oh, have you read Tolkien?" Frankly, I never heard of the Bleeder. I don't think anybody had, to be honest with you, because he wrote all this stuff in the 30s. 1930s. He was a professor, I think, at Cambridge, if I recall. I think it was Cambridge, anyway. And he wrote these stories of Middle Earth as a metaphor. And the metaphor was for the First World War. Did you know that? That's what it was. The original Tolkien, The Hobbit, all that, Lord of the Rings, it was all a metaphor for the First World War. Fighting the invading Huns, which were the orcs. That's why the hobbits all kind of look English, you know, and they speak with a little bit of an accent. That's why. So Tolkien was a professor. He wrote these, and they sat nowhere for years and years and years. Nobody even paid attention to them. Nothing. He just kept writing away.
Radio Dismuke is a listener
And then in the late 60s, he was discovered
a non-profit organization devoted to
as this tale of Middle Earth, all this stuff. And
if you enjoy the music we present and value the work that
he,
please consider giving us your support to whatever.
I think every university student in North America read it. Lord of the Rings. And frankly, it was a good story.
For more information, go to www.early19
and didn't offend anybody. That was the thing.
1900s.org.
Like creatures he was depicting, there was nothing like it, so nobody cared. And it caught on. Man, you read Tolkien. Yeah. And then all those years later, they made the movies. And they stayed true to Tolkien's books. That's 3 stories. It was The Return of the King, The Two Towers, and The Hobbit. And they stayed true to the story. They did. And they shot it. I mean, I can't criticize anything about the movie. I thought they did fabulous job. From what I could remember anyway, it brought it to life. But and the trick shots, like, you know, it was fabulous. Like the elf, not the elf, the dwarf. What was his name now? I don't remember. Anyway, that actor is a huge guy. Like, huge. Big man. Jonathan Rhys Davis. He is massive. He's a huge man. And it didn't matter, because the way they shot it, it was just didn't matter. I mean, they shot him like he was a dwarf, and you would have sworn he was a dwarf. Gimli, that was his name. I always thought it'd be a bit better if they had barbecued his name, the guy who stole the ring, and the Precious. The hell was his name now? Showing my ignorance. Not my ignorance, but my memory lapse. Anyway, I always thought it would be way better if they had barbecued him. Golem. Oh yeah, Golem. Golem. I know. Let's barbecue Golem. We're hungry. Also making fun of the British aristocracy, the hobbits, you know. We're going to have high tea, mid tea, before breakfast tea, just after lunch tea, before lunch tea, and oh god, it was hilarious. But that was like shot at the British upper classes. Tea time for tea. Is it upper tea or lower tea today? Oh, we're having crumpets, Crumpets with tea. Oh, dear. Yes, of course. Why wouldn't we? I say, boy. If you get a chance to watch that movie, White Mischief, watch that. The book, actually. They made it into a movie. But it recounts the story of the British aristocracy who, in the Second World War, just picked up and moved to colony, They moved to Kenya, where they just basically started up where they left off. High tea, low tea, trumpets, and very good. Good job with the movie. It was just like the book. But, yeah, White Mischief is called. Very entertaining. You see just how the decadence. Absolute decadence. They were all in full swing again because they were all broke. They were all broke until, completely broke until, the 20s and the teens, when they discovered American money. And the Americans discovered that they actually did want a title for their daughters and sons. And these old, established British monarchists and who were dead broke said, "Oh, absolutely, old boy, we'll marry her, don't worry. By the way, we're in a bit of a short. Ha 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 ha, little mind here. I wonder if you could lend us $50 million. No problem. Anything for my daughter. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you." And these young women were set off to marry these reprobates. Really. What they were, reprobates. Honest to God. Terrible. And, I'm trying to remember her name. Which one is it? Vanderbilt, was it? Camilla? Anyway, she's the one who coined the phrase, the heir and the spare, as her role. Anyway, she dumped the yellow-toothed, the lord she had to marry. I think she was a Vanderbilt. Anyway, maybe she wasn't. I don't know. One of them. Anyway, dumped them. Went to live in France for the rest of her life and had a very good life, actually. Thank God. Camilla, darling, you're going to marry this, disgusting British royal, who's a duke, you know. Oh. Well, Papa, is he, my age? Oh, no, dear. No. He's not your age. No, no, not close. Is he older than you, Papa? Well, actually he is, yes. But not to worry. You'll have a lovely life. British royal parties, tea parties, and you'll get to know the Queen. You might even be a lady in waiting, to the Queen. Oh, can you imagine? Oh, the no bounds. Really? Oh, really? Well, can you show me a picture? Well, no, dear. I'd rather not just show you pictures yet. Oh, why, Daddy? Well, he doesn't photograph well. Oh. But Daddy, he has no teeth. Oh, apparently dental hygiene is not big in the upper classes in Britain. Not to worry, we'll pay to have his teeth fixed. Oh, that'll make all the difference. Oh, yes, of course. Well, do I get to see him? Well, not yet, hon, my dear. You see, he refuses to come to colony, as he calls it. Which colony would that be, Papa? The United States. Oh, but we're not a colony, Papa. Oh, well, I know, but that's how he phrases it, so... You certainly don't want to upset him when he's proposed marriage. And he's a duke, you know, a duke. His ancestors came over to William the Conqueror. Oh. And they own a castle. I must admit it is mortgaged to the hilt. No worry. We'll take care of that mortgage instant the minute we get there. Oh, of course. We wouldn't want that to upset our plans. Of course not. Ay. Oops.
I'm roaming in the gloaming looking for you, hoping that you are looking for me too. The happy nightingales are singing above, singing the love song you and I once knew. Maybe I'm a fool to go on searching in vain. I can't believe the dream of love won't come true. That's why I'm in the gloaming looking for you. I haven't seen you since we drifted apart, and I'll confess that it's been breaking my heart. My arms are yearning to hold you tight.
Good night.
Looking for you.
Nothing but you. You. Nothing but you.
Maybe I'm a fool to go and searching in vain. Maybe I am not, but someday we'll meet again. I can't believe my dream of love won't come true. That's why I'm roaming in the gloaming looking for you.
Da 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 da. Uh-huh.
Rubbing elbows with the best society. They love their some hiety they never knew. We'll be happy until the music is still. But baby, when they present the bill, I think they'll think we're Lord and Lady Who's It.
Yes, the Roomba. Very popular in the 30s. Mind you, until Hitler banned it, he banned jazz, the Roomba, he banned Latin, and it wasn't wholesome. I mean, who could blame him, right? I mean, after all, if you're a petty dictator. Well, they actually shouldn't say that. He was no petty dictator. He was a monster. Mussolini was a petty dictator. Hitler? No. Oh, he went way past dictator.
Streaming the sounds of the 1920s and 1930s around the world 24 hours a day. This is Radio Dismuke. RadioDismuke.com. HappyMusicRadio.com.
I met you, I fell, not wisely but well. Oh baby, look what you've done.
To me.
You called me your own, then left me
Alone. Be done to me.
I walked through Lover's Lane, never thinking where it led. You strolled along with me, and the lovely things you said turned my head. It's over, but then I do it again. Oh, baby, look what you've done to me.
Da, 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 da. Baby. Oh, me. Oh, no. Where did you go now? Need you. I'm gonna stay over here. Do that. And it's not the one. I have to have the soft one. Formulation must be soft. There.
nothing it spares you. Love is like that, what can you do? I've known all its loneliness, its pangs and its fears, but the moment it finds you, it blinds you, and like a slave it binds you. Love is like that, what can you do? I do. Oh, I feel so excited, I'm nervous as can be, said little Mary to a friend she knew. Oh, you would be delighted and feel the same as me if someone introduced him to you. It's the first time we've met, he's the kind you can't forget. He's tall, dark, and handsome. Though I don't know his name or the place from whence he came, he's tall and dark and handsome. He had that brand of kisses you'd adore. I never thought they kissed that way before. He's the type that makes you feel that he's too good to be real. He's tall and dark and handsome. I'll polish the leaves, make them green again, shake out the trees, change the scene again, spring cleaning, getting ready for love. I'll sweep out the nook, down in Lover's Lane, turn on the book, make it run again, spring cleaning, getting ready for love. I'll dust those wintry
Dun 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 dun.
Cause soon you and I have a rendezvous under the sky, like we used to do, spring cleaning, getting ready for love. Swing out, boy. Cause soon you and I have a rendezvous under the sky, like we used to do, spring cleaning, getting ready for love. That's what I'm talking about.
Romantic. All the things I say. Oh, you. Okay.
Music in the night, a dream that can be heard. Isn't it romantic? Morning shadows write the oldest magic word. I hear the breezes playing in the trees above, while all the world is saying you were meant for love. Isn't it romantic? Merely to be young on such a night as this. Isn't it romantic? Every note that's sung is like a lover's kiss. Sweet symbols in the moonlight. Do you mean that I will fall in love again? Isn't it romantic?
Da 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 da. romantic night like this, even in the moonlight, oh, love again.
Folks, when you go downtown shopping, or when motoring or hunting, take a flask of Horlick's malted milk tablets along with you. There's nothing like them for helping ward off fatigue or hunger. When you begin to feel tired or feel hungry, just dissolve a few of these delicious tablets in your mouth. They'll nourish you while you work, keep you going at top speed when you aren't able to eat on time. Children love Horlick's malted milk tablets. They can easily carry a supply to school with them. You can get Horlick's malted milk tablets, you know, in either natural or chocolate flavor, either in the small, conveniently carried 10-cent size glass or in larger sizes.
I'm going over just the weight of the pencil, basically. And I'm drawing the light so it falls down the middle. So what's happening is I'm trying to establish the light hitting the face dead center. And I'm doing this because I want the gold to really be the key here. And if I do too much light through the center without not knocking back the colors, the gold won't appear quite as bright. Now I put lots of white on, so you're getting it toned down without really turning it black or anything. Just toning it. And that's what you want. Simple as that. And this is a very good technique if you're in this position where you want to get something like that, because it allows for adjusting tone without killing yourself all the way through the drawing, trying to match each tone, you know, like to get it exactly right. You don't have to. Just put down the tones, and if you've got enough color down, it'll peep through. As you can see, it peeps through the colors, and it keeps the colors. That's the other thing. And it keeps the colors because you've got all those colors underneath. So even though the top layer is a bit darker, you're not obliterating the color, which is what you want. So there. Oh my God, they're playing Tiptoe to the Tulips again. Go through the window to the garden, that's where I'll be. Oh, tiptoe through the tulips, me.
Tiptoe to the window, by the window, that is where I'll be. Come tiptoe through the tulips with me. Tiptoe from your pillow to the shadow of a willow tree, and tiptoe
Through the tulips with me. Away. I'll be. You see how I'm getting the light to do what I want it to do? Okay? You can virtually direct the light where you want it to go. And once you've done that, if you recall, I didn't do in here with black. I did it with dark purple. Now you can go back over it with black and you'll get a much darker tone. It'll drop at least 3 tones. And that's what you want, because you're looking into his mouth. My grandmother used to say, look in his mouth. French. No TH in her. Mouth. Couldn't say that. Perfectly bilingual, but there's some words she just could not say. TH was one of them. Matter of fact, when I first came to Toronto, went into, I guess it was grade 1, I don't know. Yes, grade 1. I can remember just barely that they took me out for speech lessons. And the reason is I couldn't say TH because I spoke French. And they had to teach me how to pronounce things like an Englishman, you know? And they did. Oh, bloomin' hell, you can't be talking like that down here. You're in the British area of the province now, all that, yeah. You can't be doing that. You speak like we do, alright.
I'm in heaven, and the cares that hung around me through the week.
If I recall, my mother was a little upset, but my father sure wasn't. He didn't speak any French at all. Nothing wrong with the way he speaks. Apparently there was. Well, in those days, if your dad said, you're going to those speech lessons, the school provided them, by the way, now they weren't private. Said, no, you're going to learn how to speak English properly. Alright. He got his way. So, to this day, I can say that, as opposed to that. That.
And my heart beats so that I can hardly speak, and I seem to find that
Da, 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 da.
when we're out together, dancing cheek to cheek.
I'm in heaven. I can hardly speak. Now you go up these pieces that are going to be gold. Sure, they're dark in there because you want the gold to pop out because it's yellows and whites, browns, and wonderful colors. So you want those colors to pop. Oh. Get around the corner. But tonight we're drawing to a close. I think his face is about done. I plan to get his face done it. God, I've done it. Blimey, I've done it. Bloody God, his face is dark as. Da, 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 da. I'm gonna go over lightly. Blender. Just to get the black lines, which are very light, blended into the top layer. I'm not applying any pressure at all. I'm just literally just glide over the surface.
As I look at you, a thought goes through my mind. What a marvelous find.
Kind of, this is what the blender's good for, really, to get this kind of. You can blend colors, of course. I mean, harder colors to blend, but you don't really need it until you get something like this you need. But that doesn't mean you can't use it. It simply means that you get to a point sooner or later where you don't need it. Until you run into the kind of situation, and that's why you need it, but you don't need it. Does that make sense? I don't know. Oh no, somebody up there is saying, what the hell is he talking about? You need it, you don't need it, you need it, you don't need it. Hopefully. People understand. Da, 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 da. You ought to be in picture. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Be in pictures.
You ought to be in pictures. Oh, what a hit you would be. You're lovely as a You surely should be offered a starring part right away. You're sweet as a gainer, and you're hot as a gal named. You'd even make Garbo jealous if you took a movie test. You ought to dress like
Da, 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 da. Notice how I just cleaned off the tip there for a second? That's a good hint. Something you should remember to do. Clean off the tip of the blender. Because if you don't, you might streak some color on that you don't want. And you can see how the blender kind of takes out some of the sharper lines.
I wanna be
Be happy, happy true. Da, 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 da,
When skies are gray and you say you are blue, I'll send the sun smiling through. I wanna be happy, but I won't be happy till I make you happy too.
da, 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 adjusting some of the light where it's hitting again. Bearing in mind we're dealing with orc. An orc. Wouldn't you love to meet a guy like this? Get a pet orc or something. That would be so. By the way, you can also go over it with another color. It's just not white. You can do the same thing, toning with another color. Just don't put any pressure on your pencil. Just allow it to drop down the color, you know. And you want a Prismacolor that's softer than, like some are a little harder than others depending on the pigment. So look through your colors at this point, because there's so much color on it. It doesn't really make a lot of difference. But if you find a color that's like a softer color that you can just sort of let it drift over, and you know what I mean? You know what I mean, Mike? A little bit of yellow.
It sounds like heaven to hear a baby.
This is going to be in the gold, so I kind of want it. Want it there. Because the gold's coming right down to here, so you want like color coordination if you can. And that color will give you color harmony. So it doesn't look, well, it won't look weird, but it gives you the option, right? And brighten it up a little bit if you want. Brighten up the shadows that way. There really isn't a need to. You don't have to do it, but it just gives you that little bit of color harmony that when you're getting to the next part of the painting and then you say, well, geez, I should have done that. Well, you never have to say that if you do this kind of stuff, because it already harmonizes with what you're doing. And you work back on your whites. Which intensifies the whites that you leave. Get like a cool color. An orky color, you know? Anyway, folks, that's it for tonight. I'm glad you could come and watch us. Alright, where are you? Walk away mouse. There we go. You know, Modified Wolf, how do I get to you? Hey, you come in. I don't know why. Oh, I didn't see you either. Oh my god.
Sunrise, blue gray skies, come smiling over the hill. Don't let to bring you a sunny new day, for you to make it a bright or blue day. If you're unhappy, then start tomorrow anew. Through the gray skies, the sunrise will bring another day for you. When he crossed the sea and brought fame to we, that was Lucky Lindy's lucky day. When he said, I'll go down to Mexico, that was Lucky Lindy's lucky day. In the land where romance fills the air, there was true love waiting for him there. He found happiness when she whispered yes. That was Lucky Lindy's lucky day.
Oh, come on. Where are you? There he is. Anyway, that is it for tonight. I got so into the damn drawing, I didn't even see that. So, Modified Wolf, I apologize. Even as one, it's okay. I apologize. Jeez. Anyhow, you guys, sorry. But that is the orc for tonight. Tomorrow, fun and games, because we're going to do gold, armor, all that neat stuff. And I'll get his ears in and all that stuff. By the way, I'm not 100% sure that orcs have that kind of eye, but you know what? It really looks gruesome. You know? Like, gruesome. So anyway. Thank you. And I'm glad you dropped by, and I really appreciate it. And we will endeavor to get at this guy again starting tomorrow. I think he's coming along quite good, to be honest with you. I like him so far. He looks really orcish. And I'll fix all this up here as well, because I sprayed out my sketch, but that's okay. What are you going to do? I was sketching it while I was instructing glazing techniques to a Sheridan College animation student. So, stuff happens, you know. What are you going to do? But regardless, thank you. And we'll see you tomorrow, same time, same place. And I hope all is well. And I'll run the rerun of this, and if you want to see it. And talk to you later. Good night.